Y'all. So I this is really late for me, but I can't pass this up because I might forget or she might block me. So I gotta make it now. But I joined this thing called the hot seat debate and discussion, and of course it's more so listening to me say something and then go away other than debate and discussion. But we're here. And this topic is how can we better our education system? We're not going to talk about what I have up there as the my topic. We'll another video for that one because that one's not really interesting. But since you've seen it, I guess I'll make a different video for it. But we're here to talk about what another woman posted, and then me and her went back and forth. So here's our back and forth. I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm going to do just a couple from her, a couple from me, just so you can get the gist of it. Okay. Um, And she says child safety and sex education shouldn't be quote unquote up to the parents. If I had known what child abuse was as a child, I would have known that what I was going through wasn't normal. I was ashamed of my own anatomy growing up because I didn't know what interlabia was. Everyone is so upset about the quote unquote trans and gender crisis, but if they just prioritize teaching kids about puberty and how uncomfortable growing up can be, they wouldn't feel the need to go seek out specific communities to feel whole in. Growing up can be rough, and there is not enough education and support for kids to help them be confident and stable during those times. Now, here's the thing. Y'all know I hate typing, so sometimes I say half of what I mean, or not even that. Which, again, I always have to give a little bit of leeway to the people responding to me because I don't speak in entire thoughts when I'm typing. Like right here, I said, well, it's the parent's child, so parents have the rights or not. What your suggestion gives priority to the state, not the parents. We already do that way too much. Granted, that's true, but what I meant of her whole statement, right? This whole first statement, I actually agree with not the very end, but like right before the end, where she says, um, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? But if they just prioritize teaching kids about puberty and how uncomfortable growing up can be, I'm with you. But I disagree. That's why I disagree with her initial statement. Yes, sex education and your stages of life that shouldn't be taught in school at all. At all. Public, private, that other hybrid shit that they got going on. The charter schools. No, your anatomy, your puberty, your sexual reproduction stages of life, that absolutely should be taught to you by your parents. No, and only who like your parents like okay to it, like the family or whatever. I guess for whatever reason they would like maybe like an aunt like really knows what she's talking about. You send your daughter to her or some shit like that. But your parents should absolutely be in charge of that part of your life. And stop. But her case of where she's making a point to where, yeah, basically basically trying to say parents sometimes abuse their kids. Therefore, we ought to have like things within the school system which enables the kids to tell on the parents. But the problem is, just like the school systems, the government systems always do, they execute it poorly. They're going to execute this very poorly. They're going to create a situation in which this is just going to be a weapon for the kid. Think about how vindictive kids can be towards parents they hate. Now, if you want to say that that parent sucks, okay, but that doesn't make the school or the state providing a weapon for the kid to use towards the parents good at all. That's not okay. Also, if you have problems, which a lot of families do, in your household, you need to handle that. Again, in no way would I ever say, hey, if a kid is getting fucked at home, then oh well. No. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I would ever say. But those problems, at the very minimum, need to start being, for one, prevented by the parents. And if the parents find some shit out, the parents need to go through whatever measures they want to go through to correct that or stop that. If they want to reach out to the cops or the authorities, fine. But if they want to handle that internally, you can't tell them what the correct course of action is, because it's their child, it's their family. That's that might be just my philosophical stance, in which a lot of people just disagree with. But I don't think the idea of preemptively assuming that however many a handful of kids in the class are currently being molested, therefore we need to come up with some sort of um course or whatever you would call it that would encourage kids to say shit that probably isn't as serious as a child might say. That is fucked up. Don't do that. And as you see towards the bottom here, I asked, damn it, where am I? Where did I say it? I can't find it, but I essentially asked her, okay, so if you have, she said she had two kids, and I asked her, okay, so can I assume that you are teaching your kids poorly, or I don't agree with it, and I myself start telling your kids what they can and can't do, or trying to shape their a philosophy in this area, would that be okay? She doesn't realize she's actually like advocating for grooming. This right here is a by default gateway for grooming. You want people who aren't your kids, parents, relatives, anything, to be in charge of their like sexual reproduction. By default, they're going to be into their romantic and sex life. By default, teaching about puberty, their body. Do you understand how close that is? Would there ever be a reason for a teacher to like, hey, stay after class so I can explain blah 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 to you? We already have a shit ton of teachers coming out fucking the students, and you want to do this? I seriously don't know how people are, they become their own problem by a fault, right? And I'm pretty sure you can find this somewhere, and like my doings and like my outlook on life. But people are just they're so hell bent on their state. If for any of you who watch like Iron Man or something, right? Or they made the point that every time Iron Man tries to do something or protect people, he essentially ends up just starting like World War III, because he just gets in the way when he's actually trying to fix a problem. That's really everyone. That's really everyone. So towards the end, I'm not even sure if I'm going to respond. I think I'm at the point in life where I really don't care if people even just think that they won. So I might not respond. I don't know. But she says, laughing my ass off. Sounds like you just don't want to keep kids safe. Again, my father was abusive. I thought it was normal. If there are abuses in the home, how exactly are those kids going to be protected? In fact, explain what your beef is with teachers. Did your teacher groom you? Look at that. People like, she thinks she has me in like some type of ironic twist, but that's literally what she just did. What if I was groomed? You don't think this is a trigger for me? You don't think this is a tick for me? For me to just flip and go, just see, people don't care. Just see, and now maybe I'll go on my journey of fucking with kids. I won't. I'm giving you a hypothetical here. But do you see how just she wants to win so bad? She's at a point in which if she was talking to someone who had this trauma, she would actually trigger it, and she doesn't give a fuck because she just wants to win. Now we're not. I'm pretty sure she's not even giving a fuck about if she's right. She wants to win, and she be damned if she don't. Win, win, win. Al Davis, win, baby, win, or however the fuck you said it. And she says, y'all preach, quote unquote, save the kids. But the second it comes down to educating them about topics that make you uncomfortable, y'all would rather they just find out the hard way and hope for the best. Who is she talking to? Who is y'all? Who is y'all? But again, it's like instead of even finding out, I'm really just at this point. I might just let her win because this isn't going to go anywhere. I don't know who the fuck y'all is. I don't know if she's like doing some like Republican liberal stuff because I never once in this thread said that I was anything. I never, not once. I never stated I was anything. So I don't know what she's alluding to there. And also protecting the children. Again, I'll say it again. Open the kids up to some. I'm actually watching a Peacock series right now where the woman, her baby daddy, spoilers, I guess, it's called like the bright side of something something. She's a cop. So beware. But her baby daddy is a cop who works at this youth center thing that was through the police officer thing. I don't really some youth center or something. Youth center police, some shit like that. And she realized that this dude is fucking all of the kids that come through there. Not literally all of them, but all like the pretty girls that come through there. He grooms them and fucks them. But this literally is a program designed to help the youth. But what do? You literally create a funnel. And ironically, she says, hope for the best. You literally have to hope for the best when you send them to these teachers too. You don't think a program that teach children about puberty, you don't think that that's going to attract people who go, oh shit, really? We doing that? What are the qualifications? A word, that's me. Or maybe they'll just become a substitute teacher and wait for that ever moment of, hi class, I'm your puberty teacher for the day. Hey, you've been struggling. Stay after. You don't think that this is setting the kids up for quote unquote failure? Holy shit. I just when people just want to be smartasses, it, it's like there's not much you can do with it at all. Um, who do y'all think was more off base, me or her? Be right, not positive. I'm out.